The city of Nelsonville is starting plans to handle its sewage. Those living on federal housing assistance may spend more to keep a roof over their heads.
And in sports, a look at concussions, how they're more than just a bad headache. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
The city of Nelsonville might get a new regional sewer plant. Good evening, I'm Chelsea Sick.
And I'm Lily Bradley. Thanks for joining us. This comes after an emergency ordinance passed Monday at the Nelsonville City Council meeting. This ordinance means that Murray City and Carbon Hill of Hocking County will work with Nelsonville together to build this regional plant. Newswatch reporter Michaela Marshall is live at the current city sewer plant with more. Michaela?
That's right, Lily. I spoke with city manager Charles Barga today, and he told me there's a real need for this new plant. I'm standing in front of the current city of Nelsonville plant, and it's only been updated once over 30 years ago. It opened its doors back in 1956.
Right now, Murray City and Carbon Hill are unsewered. This sewage treatment agreement will allow those towns to tie into Nelsonville's plant with the construction of a new regional sewer plant. City Manager Charles Barga says the plan is to convert the current aging sewer plant to a list site and build a larger one outside of town.
There's a field here, it's about 12 acres, and we're working with the owner to purchase the land and build the regional sewer plant in this area right here, just southeast of Nelsonville.
I spoke with longtime business owner Don Smith. Don's service center is located right next to the current sewer plant in Nelsonville.
Just getting it out of the town will be a big improvement in the air quality and the appearance.
Barga says residents will have to gradually pay more in sewage. Over the next few years, the plan is to tack on $10 more than they're paying now in increments of about $3.50 a year.
The average sewer bill right now for us is right around $25 a month. So even if we raised it the full $10, we're only talking $35 a month, and that would still be lower than most areas around, most cities and villages around here.
Smith says he doesn't mind paying more for sewage.
If it improves the health and the smell and everything on this end of town, it's worth it to me.
All communities involved, as well as the Ohio EPA and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, must sign the agreement in order for the plan to move forward.
I spoke with a representative from the Ohio EPA, and she told me the city will be getting a loan of over $950,000 just to pay for the design of this new plant. I'm told that loan may be going into effect today. Reporting live for Newswatch in Nelsonville, I'm Michaela Marshall. Back to you, Lily.
Thanks, Michaela.
People on federal housing assistance could see more of their income go towards rent. Under the Housing and Urban Development Plan, 35% of tenants' gross income would pay for rent. Current rules call for 30% of a tenant's adjusted income goes to rent. HUD officials say more than 2 million households could be affected by these proposed changes. Here in Athens, renters getting HUD assistance are just waiting to see how those proposed rules changes will affect them. We talked to some tenants at Carriage Hill Apartments, but they didn't want to be on camera. They did say they hope more of their income won't have to go towards rent. According to a report from the Housing Finance Agency, 10.5% of renters in Athens County receive HUD subsidies, but tenants say they are also worried about staying at their current apartment. Carriage Hill, recently rebranded as Campus Heights, is currently undergoing a $2.5 million renovation project. Tenants think the complex will become more oriented for college students. Officials from Campus Heights said HUD recipients will not be affected by the changes and that Campus Heights is open to students and non-students.
What was once a buyer's market for colleges is now a selling market to students. And Ohio University is finding it harder to attract high school graduates. Newswatch reporter Micah Upshaw has been looking into OU's long-term plans to create better living for future students.
In today's competitive world, attracting students is more than offering an education.
I personally would like to live in some places nice, as well as having a really good campus with academics.
And colleges have to adjust. Ohio University has an undergraduate acceptance rate of 75%. Accepting students is second half the battle, while convincing them to attend is first. An incoming Ohio University freshman will pay more than $24,000 for just tuition in fall 2018. And one way OU is working to set itself apart from other colleges, its dorms. OU Housing and Residence Life and University Planning have been working together to create Housing Phase 1.
Housing Phase 1 was replacing several South Green dorms with new facilities. It's in place today. There are 4 facilities grouped together with a central living learning center.
The dorms Tanaka, Luke's, Soul, and Carr were born. With suite-style rooms, high ceilings, and private bathrooms, this $100 million project is the beginning of a new standard the university plans to slowly integrate campus-wide. These dorms, however, are more than just aesthetics. The executive director of Housing and Residence Life, Peter Trinacosti, says the university wants to create dorms that are also long-lasting.
The main focus was to make a project, a building that's going to last the test of time, and a real high-quality building. And while we're doing that, we want to make sure that we're following as many sustainable principles that we can.
Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Micah Upshaw.
The university plans to tear down 9 more dorms in order to create more green space for recreational use.
Good evening, welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm your forecaster, Eric Threek II. Beautiful day here in Athens, and it was similar around the region. We see today, hour by hour, if you're going to be out and about tonight, those same students who were enjoying the positive weather today, my night owls, my bar crawlers, it will get chilly tonight. And I need you to bring your light jacket, your sweater, a long sleeve, whatever warms your heart, keeps your heart happy, making sure that you are staying warm, staying safe. As we see this low pressure system continue to move to the East Coast, that heavy rain that was hitting us earlier this week is now moving toward Pennsylvania and New York. And we'll start to see sunny skies as we get throughout the week, starting our week off right. Chances of rain tonight, full temperatures will be dropping tonight, and it'll be sunny to start your week on Sunday. Back to you, Lily.
Thanks, Eric. I'm really looking forward to this warm temperature. Hope they'll stick around. Ohio police arrested 4 young students for making violent threats. The 2 10-year-olds, a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, are facing charges after school staff found several hit lists and a weapon at both an Elyria middle and elementary school this week. Officials say one 10-year-old brought a large knife to school with a list of people to stab. A janitor found that list in a trash can. The middle school principal confiscated a separate list. Although the students said the list was just something they made up, Elyria Police Captain Christopher Constantino says the school district will not tolerate a threat of any kind.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions continues to crack down on dealers in the opioid crisis. Today he announced new court action against people involved with illegally bringing drugs like fentanyl into the U.S. The Attorney General specifically mentioned a 2015 Grand Forks overdose as a tipping point for the government.
In total, 32 defendants have been charged as part of this law enforcement operation. According to the indictments, over 5 years, the conspirators trafficked large and dangerous quantities of fentanyl into the United States and Canada. The defendants allegedly sold fentanyl and fentanyl analogs in 11 states from coast to coast, Oregon to Ohio to Florida.
Federal prosecutors are scoring victories against doctors in the opioid crisis. A Cincinnati physician convicted of illegally distributing oxycodone pills was sentenced Wednesday to 5 years in federal prison. 61-year-old Alan Arnold was convicted of illegally distributing opiates through the Central Kentucky Bariatric and Pain Management Clinic. Testimony showed he conducted only minimal exams before prescribing large quantities of pills. For the first time in generations, North and South Korean leaders are looking for peace.
Plus, sexual accusations against yet another beloved news anchor. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
We are here for the same reason, although I suspect we hope for different results.
You know what they say, yeah, the wicked get no rest.
I do not admire you for this.
Looking at my heart, in a place,
It's always sex, isn't it?
got so much to lose.
Love. For judgment.
We are not amused.
God. Travel on my left,
how you'll be a man.
Are you becoming squeamish?
Oh, God, your mother's here.
The lesbians. They're getting married. You're having a great time.
God, don't let me lose
Yes.
my mind.
Come and play with us.
Onward and onward!
Good ideas open up a whole new world of possibilities.
The more you know about history, the more you know about yourself.
The sky is the limit.
Where I go, there you are.
It's a scene we wouldn't have predicted just a year ago. But on the 65th year since the Armistice Agreement, North and South Korea signed what they're calling the Panmunjom Declaration for Peace on the Korean Peninsula. The agreement includes working towards the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. It also states that meetings will be held with the Koreas, the U.S., and China with an intent to declare an end to the war. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said this meeting would not have happened without pressure from President Trump.
Let there be no doubt, we would not be where we are today without President Trump's maximum pressure campaign and the work that has been done all around the world to apply pressure to North Korea.
This as foreign relations were on the top of the agenda for the White House today. Pompeo is getting right to work, meeting with NATO leaders in Brussels. In the meantime, President Trump says he's keeping an eye on the Korean summit, all while holding a full day of meetings with the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, discussing Korea and the Iran nuclear deal.
We're working on a lot of different subjects, including trade, including NATO, including military of all types.
This is beyond the United States. This is a world problem, and it's something that I hope I'm able to do for the world.
Pompeo will also travel to Saudi Arabia, Israel, and Jordan in the coming weeks.
Former NBC Nightly News anchor Tom Brokaw is denying allegations of sexual harassment. The Washington Post and Variety report the sexual harassment allegations made by former NBC News correspondent Linda Vester. She says Brokaw tried to force her to kiss him on 2 separate occasions more than 20 years ago. Vester also told Variety that Brokaw once groped her and showed up at her hotel room uninvited. Brokaw made a statement saying he only had 2 brief meetings with Vester to discuss career advice. He said he never made, quote, romantic overtures toward her. You've probably eaten here and maybe left a tip.
But where does that money go? That story's still ahead.
And the rain is starting to move out of Ohio. We're starting to see the sun begin to settle in as we go on to next week. We will see that and more on my full forecast next on Newswatch.
I don't mind saying it.
Now you look like an astronaut.
My dream is to walk on the moon.
2, 1.
Look at this place.
It's a crazy design.
It's nearly impossible.
What is the next step toward furthering our presence in the cosmos?
That was something.
Oh, this is incredible. Very, very scary.
Reality is always more unbelievable than anything we could have imagined.
We're literally on the cutting edge.
unreal.
Hi, I'm Hari Srinivasan from the PBS NewsHour.
And I'm Mark Brewer from WOUB.
Join me on PBS NewsHour and PBS NewsHour Weekend for the latest news and analysis of the issues that matter most to you.
Weeknights at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 5 right here on WOUB Public Media.
Welcome back to Newswatch. We saw today in Athens it was a very sunny day, but as we get closer into the night, you'll see that it will be 68 degrees, partly cloudy. The rain might cause it to be a little muggy, so keep your light jackets ready. Make sure that you stay dry. You will be hot, maybe a little warm, so just worry about staying dry. If we look around the area, we saw similar weather than we did in Athens. Temperatures ranging from 58 to 68 degrees. We saw 61 here in Athens, 68 in Marietta, 58 in Newark. It was generally sunny and partly cloudy around the area. As we look, today it was fairly average for an April 27th. The low remained average at 44, slightly above the average high. Nothing special about today, but you don't need the almanac to tell you that you're special. You can make whatever day special that you want to do. So as we continue to move along, if you want to be special tonight, moving along, tonight it will get a little chilly. So if you are out enjoying some of Athens' local establishments, make sure you have a light jacket, make sure you have a hoodie, make sure you're staying warm because it will be a little chilly as we get into the night. As we watch this low pressure system begin to move to the East Coast, move to states like Maine, New Hampshire, some of the states we might forget about, that was some of the rain that we were dealing with earlier this week. It will be over there and sun will begin to come in as we move throughout the week. You'll start to see in Sunday, Monday, that it will be clear skies, very low chance of rain. We see this last little part moving through Indiana, coming to Ohio. That will start to slowly weed out as we get through the weekend. And as we look, if you're out and about tomorrow morning working, you are studying, you're walking, enjoying yourself, you might need a light jacket. So just wear what you wore from the night before, making sure you're staying warm and staying dry. It will be around 46 degrees. There's a chance that storms might pop up being around. As we get throughout the weekend, like I say, with that low pressure system, it's beginning to move out throughout the weekend, making sure that the weather is starting to get a little warmer. We might see our first 80-degree day next week. As we look at the 7-day forecast, like I said, on Wednesday, we're looking at a high of 80. Thursday, high of 81. We start to see Tuesday, Monday, if you have plans to go outside, walk around, making sure that you're doing your thing and enjoying the positive weather, you'll be able to do that. But as the week wears on, be careful for those storms to pop up because Thursday and Friday is looking like there might be storms.
80 degrees already. I cannot believe it.
So excited. It seems like it's been so long.
I'm a little ready for it. It's been a while in the making.
It has, and it's probably going to be the first time all year that we've seen an 80-degree day.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a while.
See what you can do about keeping the rain away, though?
I mean, it's not up to me. I'm just telling you what's good.
All right. All right, thanks, Eric. A local restaurant does something quite unique with its tip money, and it doesn't even accept tips. Casa Nueva on Court Street stopped accepting tips in 2012 because it says it wants to charge customers what it believes its food and labor are worth. Despite the rule, many customers continued to leave tips, and that's when Casa decided to give that extra money to local charities. Each month, Casa chooses a different organization to donate to, and last month, Casa picked Aiden's Dream, a local nonprofit that helps families living with spinal muscular atrophy.
Every dollar that we receive as a donation is valued greatly. From a nonprofit standpoint, it's a great program. From a community member standpoint, there's a lot of things they could do with that money.
Casa invites each organization they select to receive these donations to host one happy hour event to promote their cause. And with that, let's go to Mitchell Lyons with sports.
Thanks, Chelsea. Good evening. I'm Mitchell. As she said, 4 years ago, the Cleveland Browns selected this Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. Last night, they took another one, and after the break, I'll let the GM tell you why. And Newswatch reporter Kellyanne Stitt sat down with former Ohio University hockey player about his experience with a career-ending concussion and the effects that can have on mental health. And stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Feel my face anymore.
You're doing good. You're just a little slow. Welcome to madness.
I'm expecting the unexpected. The chicken feet really put me in a foul mood.
Join us for Family Ingredients Season 2.
Show me your mayonnaise, and I'll tell you who you are. I can't wait to have a taste.
Now that's crispy.
Hello, I'm Paula Kerger, president of PBS. I'd like to tell you about a terrific new membership benefit called PBS Passport. With a qualifying donation, Passport brings more than 1,000 hours of great PBS and local programming to your computer, phone, or digital media player. You can catch up on shows you may have missed or revisit some of your favorites. The best part is that you can watch whenever you want. When you make your qualifying donation, you'll help to make all of the programs you love on this station possible, so don't delay. I know that you're going to love PBS Passport, so please make that donation right now, and thank you for your support.
Welcome back. I'm Mitchell Lyons. Concussions and the effect they can have on mental health have been highlighted in the media recently. Newswatch sports reporter Kellyanne Stitt is live in the newsroom with more on the story. Kellyanne?
Concussions are an unfortunate injury that can happen from taking a big hit, especially in sports. Some side effects can include headaches, dizziness, and memory loss, but they can also have an effect on mental health. I got the opportunity to talk to a former Ohio University hockey player about his personal experience.
Nice outlet pass.
I remember just being on the ice, and then I remember our trainers like hand on my back and just kind of like tending to me. I have no idea how long I was out there for. So she took me to the bench right after, but I don't remember that at all. So I kind of remember being on the ice and like kind of having like a wow moment, like just kind of like, oh God, this is bad.
Ohio University's team physician Fred Solomon says a concussion is a traumatic injury to the brain.
This way I can put it is you take your cell phone and drop it. You may not crack the screen, but you may damage the phone inside. So think of it like that, is that the hardware has been damaged and it can't carry out its executive functions.
Matt had headaches for months following his career-ending concussion, but his mental health took the biggest hit.
So like my world kind of just like cut off. Like you're done with hockey, but you still got to show up to class. You know, I still was coming here and like being supportive of the team, but it was killing me every single time I was here. And so yeah, I mean depression and like, you know, having anxiety about what I'm gonna do from here. Like, you know, I've done this my entire life. I've put so much time and effort into this, and all of a sudden it just cuts off.
Dr. Roberts believes there is a correlation between brain damage from concussions and mental health issues down the road.
I do think that mental health is a big topic. It's been a big topic in the past. There are changes in personalities. These have been seen by family members. And to give you a definitive, it'd be hard to give you a definitive answer, but really it makes sense.
It was concern about personality changes and other long-term mental health problems that convinced Matt to put his health first and walk away from the sport he called his first love. Adena Health System is currently using the Clear Edge Toolkit. The Clear Edge device can help determine the amount of damage caused from a concussion. For more information about the technology and for the full story, head on over to woub.org. Reporting live for Newswatch, I'm Kellyanne Stitz.
Thanks, Kellyanne.
The first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Oklahoma.
The Heisman Trophy winner is now a Cleveland Brown. The 6'1", 210-pound Mayfield became the first quarterback to be selected #1 overall by the Browns since Tim Couch in '99. Mayfield finished second in the country in passing yards and touchdowns last year. In his 3 years at Oklahoma, Mayfield was 34-6 as a starter. It's that record and his competitiveness that caught the eye of GM John Dorsey.
I think with Baker Mayfield, what we have is a guy who we talked about, who wins the game of football, is ultra competitive, is revered by his teammates and anybody who has ever been around him. This is a guy that has earned everything he has ever had from high school to college and now up here.
The Browns are back on the clock with the first pick in the second round, which starts at the top of the hour. With their second pick in the first round, the Browns went local. 5'11", 185-pound Ward played his high school ball in Northeast Ohio and now will return home. Ward started 11 games for Ohio State last year, and he registered 37 tackles and 2 interceptions for the Buckeyes. Ward registered 15 pass breakups, which was top 10 in the country.
The fourth pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Denzel Ward, defensive back, Ohio State.
Okay, so another surprise from the Browns.
Priorities when John Dorsey got there. We traveled a winding road, but that's exactly...
Staying in Cleveland but switching teams, the Cleveland Cavs have a pivotal Game 6 tonight. If Cleveland wins, they move on to the second round of the playoffs. If Indiana wins, there will be a Game 7 on Sunday. LeBron James has dominated this series. In 5 games, James is averaging 35 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. Point guard George Hill is questionable for the game, and tip-off is set for 8 o'clock. And I'm Mitchell Lyons, and that's it for sports. Over to you, Eric.
As we see throughout the weekend, that low-pressure system is beginning to move out. The sun will start to come. You will see the temperatures warm up. You'll see clear skies. You won't have to worry about rain. And as we get into next week, as I talked about the temperatures rising, we might see our first 80-degree day. On Wednesday, you'll start to see the rain. It might come back a little bit on Wednesday as the high-pressure system comes in, but you will be able to enjoy your Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. You won't have to worry about rain or anything like that. You can go out, have a good time, hammock, walk around, get some exercise, and enjoy the beginning of your week.
All right. Thanks, Eric. That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Lily Bradley.
And I'm Chelsea Sick. We're signing off for the last time.
Thanks for letting us into your homes. It's been a privilege telling Southeast Ohio stories.
But the news does not stop here. Go to woub.org for all the dates, and Newswatch will return in September.
Have a great night.